Ethelstan. In the old days, look at Abzu. It's called the Abzu, meaning house of subterranean waters. That's the bit that's not correct. It's a ziggurat temple near the ancient Persian Gulf coastline at Eridu. You know a place called Era? Yeah, so if you go down further here, it's not actually called the subterranean water, it's called the house of Enki raises sweet water. Why is it sweet water? Because Enki is Cain that slew his brother Abel, as far as I can make out. Enki is Cain, he killed Abel. He rose up against him and he killed him with a stone. So he's the god of deception, he's the mask, the Enki is actually the same Norse god of the Dan tribe, the trickster god, and the Dan tribe is the Vagan, the people of the goddess democracy. That's how you know, the lefties. The goddess, what was it called? What's the mask called again? Loki, the trickster god, the Norse trickster god, Enki Loki, the same thing. Echo of Roy, but well, hold on a second, let me get. So here we have Cyrus, son of my right hand, who was actually Callaghan. King Callaghan is Attila the Khan, and him and Brian Brou saying to a fellow, I can't be too sure. There's so many lawyers when you're dealing with the Irish and listening to anything from the teacher in Trinity College or anything like that. Make sure you know that the Dan tribe have absolutely no qualms whatsoever about deceiving the whole of humanity as to the true nature of the history that has passed in reality in the past, as to what they're spouting in yarns, fine linen and embroidery from the Isles of Elijah. They talk absolute shy. So there we have the Tower of Babel. Stargates, all sorts of shit like that. So there's the Pope. Look how you know he's the fish mitre god. Look, the Pope has his hat on his head. A bent crucifix and all of that stuff. The mouth of a fish the hat represents, and the fish represents the god that came out of the Temple of Sweet Water. Hold on. Now, if you look at this, it's called the Great Pyramid of Mesopotamia, the Great Pyramid of the Gujarat of Ur. Now, Urk, or something, when you listen to the Epic of Gilgamesh, who's a scumbag, he's always going Great Walled Urk. He's psychologically programmed, he's using neuro-linguistics, Great Walled Urk. In other words, he's implying that if you build walls and bricks and temples and all, they're great, but it's the opposite. So basically, Brian Brou, he embraced the Catholic Church, gave them 20 ounces of gold, and after that, Ireland lost its power. The kings and the men and the people of Ireland lost their power, because they're now, after turning away from the Most High, they after turning away from the right and moving to the left. So when they turned away from the right and moved to the left, they adopted democracy. Athena, who's basically Lilith, Adam's first wife, a murderess and a baby killer. And you can read about her in the Bible. But basically they went to the left and turned from the right, and shortly after that they had the flight of the Earls, the chopping down of the oak forests, potato famine, genocide and all that thing, and the loss of any power. And since then we've had lie upon lie. Now that's where the divorce vapor was stolen from. In there was where what you would call the fountain of youth. That's where you find the fountain, where you would have found the first fountain of youth. It was originally out by, what's her name? Lilith. But then it was taken over by this fucker here. And they became the two first lizards, reptilians, as far as I know. See the way he's covered in scales? God cursed him. He used to crawl on his belly, cursed with a curse. So he's saying he has scales. He's an amphibian. He's a reptile. He's some sort of lizardy shitty thing. He's still about as well. He's like the Predator. The Predator out of Arnie or something like that. He's one of them. Or out of the Predator movie. One of those things. And here's his enemy. King Callaghan, Elijah Callaghan, stout leg, the servant of the Most High, Elijah. But there's a verse in the Bible where God says, he took Callaghan away because he's turned away. He's turned away from God. So he tells you in the Bible where he took him away. I'll find it, hold on. So as far as I can make out here, for behold, the Lord of hosts, they will take it away from Jerusalem and from Judah, from the tribe of Judah, the stay of the staff, the rod of iron, they taken them away, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of the water. So Callaghan went around burning down all the churches and keeping the library at Alexandria, Atlastandria and Ireland alive. So he's taken away. Man does not live by bread and water alone. Water is the vapour. So he says, I'm taking him away. And then he goes into describing who he is, the mighty man of war. Callaghan means war, trouble, war and strife. Callaghan the judge, Callaghan the just, who's stout leg. The prophet, the prudent, the ancient. He's ancient, you see him in the ancient pictures. The captain of 50, the honourable man. The captain of 50 is when the prophet Elijah and 50 of his sons. The honourable man, Prince Michael, your angel. The counsellor, the cunning artificer, the eloquent orator. I will give the children to be their princes, and the babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, their people. Now this is what he's saying, their people is not his people. Everyone one by another, and one by his neighbour, and the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. And the base against the honourable. So this is a fucking horror story, this Isaiah chapter. When a man shall take hold of his brother and his house and his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, but thou art ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. It sounds similar to what actually happened before the Battle of Clontarf and the mayhem that was happening in Ireland because of the Brian Brou fella and his battles. And aligning himself with the... See, some people say that Brian Brou was Strongbow, Brian the Bow. It doesn't really matter. We inherited lives from our fathers, and that's what the Lord says, and that's when we turned away from the Most High. So you see, the Sikhs are remnant, we're remnant as well, because we're Catholics. And when a man in that day shall he swear, saying, you're not supposed to swear, so that's very bad, saying, I will not be a healer. So I'm going to go to a church, I'm not going to heal anybody, I'm not going to burn down the churches, I'm not going to take away the stones, I'm going to go into them and pray and kill everybody and make them fucking sick and wrinkly and old. For in my hand is neither bread nor clothing. That means the word of the Lord is not being spread, the rationing of the food. Make me not the ruler of the people. Now, for Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen. So it could be Judas is fallen, the line of Judah is fallen. It could be Judas, the life-wheeling zealot, who has been sullied in the past, for the Jerusalem is ruined, Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke his eyes, to provoke the eyes of his glory. I will glorify the house of my glory. The Lord says, now this is going to happen. They show the countenance, they witness against them, and they declare their sin in Sodom, and they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. So what does that mean? Well, just probably like opening gay bars and stuff like that, and men raping one another in jail and shit like that, and all sorts. That's Sodom. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. So basically that's what happens when you turn to the fucking left.